think that sometimes we give up just before the miracle?
I think we do sometimes. It's like those cartoons you see where someone's digging and he stops right before it gets to the diamonds.
Yes.
Many times we do that, because we've tried, we've waited. And it's not our fault perhaps because we're weary. We've been working and we say, okay, well, it's just this, and we give up. And they say it's right before a miracle. It's almost cliche again, but it's true. Many times we've tried and we've just quit right before the finish line.
Yeah.
And if you just knew that if you hang on a little bit longer, you'll get there.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. So now you're a father of 3 amazing young men.
Yes, the story continues, but I'll do that for another time.
Okay.
Because we had so many things that were in the way, and the second one, the third one, but all 3 of our sons were conceived naturally.
All 3 of your sons were conceived naturally. So it is possible for
It's very possible.
medicine and science to get it wrong.
They can get it wrong. They get
Not
it right
all
many
the
times.
time. A lot of times they have the right solution,
Right.
but sometimes they get it wrong.
And that's one thing I want to say because, when you're in the church, perhaps, the doctors become enemies. The doctor said this, doctor said that, and they're enemies, but they're not really. They're
No.
just doing what they've been taught.
There is nothing wrong with modern medicine.
Exactly.
Okay.
I have no problem with modern medicine. If we didn't believe in medicine, we wouldn't have a hospital. We
Yes.
wouldn't have another one. So we know that there's a place where medicine works, and there's a place where the prayer works.
Yes.
At our hospital, we believe that we combine prayer and medicine. That's the power that God gave to us.
Okay.
God made medicine.
Okay.
God gave us the knowledge
Yes.
to use medicine.
Yes.
So you have to use both of them. So I remember my father always told us, said, if you have malaria and it doesn't come out by prayer, it must come out by injection. Either way, it must come out.
It must come out. You have solutions.
It must come out. Right?
So, with everything that had happened, your wife not being a Nigerian and not being an African and not being a black person,
Right.
and now you've gone through a lot. The community has rallied around you, and then you've lost the miracle. How did you protect her as a husband?
That was another tough thing again, but I had to make sure that when I would go to church, when I would go out in different places, I would be by her side.
Okay.
If I saw someone talking to her, I would rush in. What are you saying? What are you saying? And many times it was just me being overprotective. But
Because she's a very strong woman.
Right, she's a very strong woman on her own.
Yes.
She can handle herself.
Yes.
And you say things to her, she can talk back to you. She can, and she'll be nice about it.
Yes, with a
But she'll
smile,
put you in your
but
place.
she'll say it.
She'll put you in your place with a smile.
Yes.
But I remember the first few years, it was different for her. Just getting used to Nigeria, getting
Yes.
used to the environment. So
Yes. The pepper.
I would rush in exactly the pepper, the pepper from the mouth, pepper from the food, everything.
Yes.
But today she's a Nigerian. Today people tell me that she's more Nigerian than I am.
Oh wow! So you took on the Western
I took on
culture,
Western, right.
and she took on the
Still
Nigerian, and it's the perfect
she
blend.
blended in correctly, very fully. She dresses Nigerian, talks Nigerian,
Yes.
does everything. So.
Oh wow! Okay, so you wear many hats. You are a father. You're a husband. You are a pastor.
Yes,
you
I am.
are a CEO. You are a dean. You are a few other things. How do you juggle all that?
Good question. For me, what I've found is that you're all these things at different times, but I had to take the pressure off of saying, today I'm a pastor. Today
Take
I'm
the hat
this,
off.
Right. And just realize that I play all these different roles at different times, and sometimes you flow this way, you flow that way. And so I don't stop when I'm in the office to say, okay, now I need to pray. Now I need to do that. Now I need to be this. Each part of me flows to the other one. The reason I think that works is because you have to be different things at different times. And so because you've trained yourself in one area and in that area, in another area, you don't have to stop, take out this CD drive and put another CD inside. You just sort of be different at the same time.
Okay.
It's helped to be part of a family and have good people that are around me.
Yes. Okay.
So I don't have to be everything in every place. So what I've realized has been the best thing for me as a leader is to cultivate and groom other leaders around me.
Okay, so
if you
that
have
is your
good
competitive
people, right,
advantage.
Exactly. So
You have
if
grown
you
the
have
right
good people
leaders.
around you, exactly, then you don't have to do everything yourself. So at the university, we have a great vice chancellor.
Yes.
At the hospital, we have a great medical director. We
Yes.
have people that we've trained or we found and trained them to do what they do best. I remember, I think it was Steve Jobs that said, hire good people and then get out of the way, let them do what they need to do.
Yes.
So that way, my job is just to give direction, give vision, and then let them work.
Okay. So the worst type of a leader is the one who is all things to all men.
I think so. We think that it's biblical or it's this or it's that to try to be everything, but you don't have to be everything.
No.
Your job is to do yours, do your thing, do what you're strong at. My father-in-law told me one time, he said, look, Feb, don't educate your weaknesses. Do what you do best and then hire people to stand in for your weaknesses.
Oh, wow. So that they complement you.
Exactly.
So you're not cloning yourself.
Thank you.
And you're not the smartest person in all areas. So you hire the people who have been educated and have the skill set.
Exactly. That's been one of my
and the talent.
secrets, I think. I think that's something that's helped me out is to, if someone told me one time, if you're the smartest person in the room everywhere you go, then you're in trouble.
Yes, you are. Because everybody's looking to you for all the answers, and
right.
you don't have
You
all
don't
the
have
answers.
the answers. So
That's the biggest
find people who are
pathway to
smart.
failure, I
Exactly. If you try to do everything yourself. I remember one of my businesses that I started a long time ago, we had a business and I tried to do everything. I was the designer, I was the writer, I was this, I was that. And I thought, oh, I'm doing well because I felt so good because I had all these different skills.
Yes.
But after the first part came out, the second one came out, I couldn't do it all again. And so that business failed because I was trying to do everything. Now, fast forward a couple of years and you realize I took an accounting class in college, but I'm not an accountant.
And I don't want
I
to
have
be.
people who actually love numbers.
Yes.
They love accounting.
Yes.
So hire them. Don't try to do it yourself. That's the part where you're trying to educate your weakness and that you don't have strength there. So let someone who has a strength and loves numbers do numbers.
Yes.
And you do what you do.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So you work closely with your wife in some of these different areas.
Yes, we do.
How do you make it work?
Well, the same thing again. I know where she has her strengths, and she knows where I have my strengths, and so we complement each other. At the university, for example, she runs our campus life division, which has our spiritual life department and sports and different things. And so she has strengths with working with students, with working with different parts of the university. I work with the academics and different parts. And so we have our different things that we do. And that helps us complement each other
Yes.
and make sure that things work.
And not compete.
Not compete. No, you can't compete with your wife. That's
You can. It's very foolish to try and compete with your wife because we all know that females are very wise.
I've learned that the hard way, or the smart way, I should say.
Yeah, the smart way. Tell me about your biggest moment of failure, either privately or publicly.
Wow, that's one I have to think about. I've had many, so I don't know if I know one biggest one. I just mentioned one of them in business,
Yes.
where we tried to run a business and I was trying to do everything. With each failure, I've learned things not to do the next time. And that I think has helped to make sure that every time you get stronger, you get wiser.
So you fail forward.
You fail forward, exactly. I think that John Maxwell says that. So
Yes.
You have to learn from it to make sure that the next time it happens, you learn from it and say, okay, that's what it is. I remember one time someone told me about having hindsight in a foresight position. So you're about to start something new, but you try to go to where hindsight is. It's okay. What could I learn from this? What could go wrong? What could be different?
So you begin
so
with the end in
you
mind.
begin with the end in mind,
and then you
exactly.
work backwards and you put in structures and processes
To
to
make sure
ensure you
those things don't
succeed.
happen, exactly.
Oh wow,
So-
that's good. And I think a lot of us don't do that. We think about it, we get excited about it, we know we have a gifting in it, and we start and we run and we don't consult and we don't want to be told, and we know everything, and then we fail,
Very,
and
very
then
true.
the failure is very private at that point. But everything else was very public and in everybody else's face. Okay.
Very true, very true.
In leadership, you have to be accountable to people, especially the people you lead. But as an individual, you must find somebody who you trust, who you respect, who can rebuke you and celebrate you at the same time.
Correct.
Who is that person for you?
I have that in several people. For me, I have that in my wife in some areas.
Yes.
Because there are things that only she knows.
And only she
then
can say.
Only she can say.
Yes.
And she can tell me, okay, this is not going to work. Try that. Or, honey, this wasn't right. And that's good to have that person there.
Yes.
I have that in when it comes to the public side in business and also in maybe at the university level, I have Bishop Oyedepo,
Yes.
who stepped in to be like my father when my father passed away.
Yes.
In many areas, because he said to me, "Look, your father taught me many things, and so let me teach you many things too." So I have that in him. I have that in my father-in-law, Laurie's father,
Yes.
in some other areas. I have that in my mother in some areas as well too.
Yes,
So
an
I think-
amazing, strong woman as well.
so I think I've been blessed to have people in different areas that help me and sort of give direction and make sure that the same thing, I don't make the same mistakes that they did. So,
And I noticed that generally, as human beings, we are scared to be corrected, so we are not willing to be vulnerable.
very true.
So how do you handle that? That vulnerability, because you must be naked in order to be covered.
Correct.
And they cannot cover what they cannot see
True.
and teach you.
True. I think along those lines again, when talking about biggest failures, there was a time when we had we took a loan from a bank at one point, and the bank and our company were having issues. So we said, look, we're not going to pay back this until we sort out these issues.
Yes.
So we took him to court, did all these kind of things, and instead of working ways to solve the problems, they said, okay, you took us to court, fine, we'll embarrass you. So they come in and they try to just embarrass our company. They come into our organization, they do this, they do that. It was a big embarrassment. And so I walked to someone who had been in the same kind of shoes before. That was Bishop Oyedepo. He's run a university, and he said, okay, how do we deal with this? Because I don't know what to do. And so he sits me down. This is about 1 o'clock in the morning. Says, do this, do this, do that. And that was a big help because he had gone through those kind of things before.
Yes.
So when talk about being vulnerable, my father always told me, he said, if you want to go further, find someone who has gone farther.
Yes.
Now, those words mean the same thing,
Yes.
but they actually
They have
work.
different connotations and nuances.
Exactly. Find someone who has done what you're trying to do, who has made the mistake, who has solved the problem,
Yes.
and can tell you how to solve the problem. So that helped me because I was able to go through the steps he outlined, and today we're out of that thing. So
Okay.
it's interesting to have things in life that challenge you, but when they challenge you, you find someone who has gone through those difficulties before.